You are with the big story here. I'm Seher Zama. We're making a start with breaking inputs here coming in from the state of Kerala. The government has decided now to private bars from Wednesday onwards. This is a decision that has been taken on private bars to remain open from Wednesday onwards. Liquor sale will begin with strict restrictions. So these are 2-point concerns, liquor sale as well as private bars. Our correspondent Vivek is getting us those details here. Vivek, help us understand how this can be gone about with restrictions that still need to be respected and remain in place.
Exactly. The Kerala government has now decided to open the Beverages Corporation outlet as a BevCo and private bars from Wednesday onwards. And all preparations like disinfecting the BevCo outlets and the bars are underway at this point of time. And however, the liquor sale will be begin with strict restrictions like the social distancing norms will be there. And it will be based on an app system where, the customers can order the liquor through an app and they basically will have to, go to a nearby BevCo outlet and make sure that, they actually stand in front of the queue out there, and there is also restrictions on the quantity of liquor that a person can buy, and also it's only parcel services that is being permitted from the private bars and the beer and wine parlor in the state. Remember that the beer and wine parlor in the state is, and also the BevCo is under the state government, where the private bars, are by various business houses who've been controlled. Also, the government has permitted liquor sales to these private bars. People can buy through parcel system, and there is also going to be stringent conditions, protocols that has to be maintained. Meanwhile, it will be the virtual queue system that will be implemented for BevCo, where people have to, access to the app system, so that there is a control over the crowd. Because what we saw in other states, the state government is very particular, especially the chief minister, because the government had decided actually 2 weeks back, to open the BevCo outlet, but later, after seeing the situation in other states, the chief minister has decided basically to stop that and basically, wait for 2 more weeks. And hence, this time around, because Kerala is a state which requires revenue at this point of time, there has been a huge revenue deficit, a revenue loss ever since the lockdown has begun. Various sectors like tourism and entertainment and beverages, various other sectors, the revenue has been hit very, very badly, and hence the government requires money at this point of time, and hence they have no other option. So that they have to resort into opening of BevCo outlets and private bars. What is also need to be noted at this point of time is that the tax, especially there is a COVID test that has been implemented, which means for Indian-made foreign liquor, the prices are going up by 30 to 35%, and for beer and wine parlor, it's going to be 10%. So even that is going to be implemented. And the toddy shops, as far as toddy shops are
so
concerned,
as you're saying there, Vivek, these are measures for opening up revenue, and it's also happening here under what is being listed out as COVID cess in extra payments to be made for those who are availing of these services there. Vivek, thank you for getting us those inputs. We are switching focus to the other state. This is in Karnataka. Breaking inputs coming in the state cabinet having just met. After Punjab and Gujarat, Karnataka is the third state now which has issued these fresh guidelines based on what has come in from the centre, lockdown 4.0. Curbs that have been eased, but it is only outside containment zones. So economic activities, movement of buses and trains that can run within the state, but this is still not going to be allowed in the containment zone. So effectively, the relaxations that we're seeing here in Karnataka is only going to be happening outside the containment zone. Strict restrictions that continue within the worst affected here, which is within the containment zones. We have with us our correspondent Srija getting us those inputs with the lockdown that will be observed across the state on Sundays as well, but there is going to be allowed entry of movement of people belonging to the state from other states as well. Srija, if you can get us more input. So essentially, things remain status quo in an absolute lockdown, which is within containment zones. But if you're outside the containment zone, there are various aspects to a breather that you've been given.
Well, that's right, Seher. In fact, what is allowed to give you a perspective about what really happened in the cabinet meeting and also what Chief Minister Yediyurappa briefed the media. He did talk about how public transport will resume. Now, remember, we're only talking about here as far as buses are concerned, that the state run, the four transportation buses that is run by the state will run, especially except for the containment and the red zones. We're also talking about where especially the rules have come into play right now, where only 30 people or 30 passengers will be allowed to board the bus, and also they will have to compulsorily wear masks and also maintain social distancing. Second most important thing we understand here is that taxis, the cab aggregators like the Ola, Uber, and also the private cabs will be allowed to ply on the roads. Again, remember, except for the containment zones that we're talking about. Thirdly, we're also talking about autos. Remember, from the start, we understand even the auto drivers have been requesting that if they can ply on the roads. Finally, we see where Karnataka government has relaxed on this, also allowing the auto drivers to ply on the roads. And the fourth most important point we are looking at here is salons, spas, barber shops will be open, including the standalone shops, except for shopping malls. Now, shopping malls will be shut, cinema halls will be shut, there won't be theaters at all. And we're also talking about especially several of the sport complexes, including the golf clubs as well. Now, these are some things that will continue to remain shut. Now, the most important thing that we're looking at as far as the relaxation in Karnataka is
Okay.
concerned, Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa has decided that intra-state train services will resume. Now, this is from tomorrow onwards. Also, as far as containment zones are concerned, they are planning to strengthen
Okay.
some of the measures in the containment zones and also ensure that home quarantine is also being strengthened. Back to you.
Right, but Srija, the other aspect to this is briefly of what you'd mentioned. As far as entry of people from the neighboring states of Maharashtra, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, uh, it has been banned. Is this an absolute blanket ban of all, which is up to the 31st of May?
Well, Seher, we understand that people coming in from these states, the first step taken by Karnataka government is especially to quarantine. Remember, this is the mandatory quarantine that we're talking about, the 14-day institutional quarantine also. Now, that has been in place, and also asymptomatic people will be allowed to go home. But remember, they are trying to analyze as far as Karnataka government is concerned. They are taking the statistics of the neighboring states, including especially Maharashtra as well, to understand where exactly the influx of people is coming from entering the state. But however, they will be allowed to enter the state, but mandatory. What we're looking at here is they should undergo quarantine, the institutional quarantine that we're talking about at this point in time. Apart from that, now this is something where the Karnataka government is looking to focus and also strengthen as far as to contain the spread of coronavirus is concerned.
All right, Srija, thank you for getting us all of those details. This is, of course, specifically for the state of Karnataka. If you're living in Karnataka, this is what you need to know there. Breaking inputs regarding the CBSE exams. This is the remainder of the CBSE exams. The date sheet is out for class 12 board exams. The date sheet is out for class 10 board exams as well. This is for Northeast Delhi students. Remember, Northeast Delhi students had suffered massively because of the Delhi riots that had taken place. Their dates have been declared as well. So we're looking at between the 1st of July to the 15th of July. So there is, of course, preparatory time that has been given to the students here on this as well. Our correspondent Ayushman getting us those details here. Ayushman, if you could get in a further input here. This is first regarding class 12, which is pan-India, and these specific dates for class 10 that have come in for the riot-affected areas of Delhi.
Yes, Seher, if you see, the 1st of July, the states have, the students have been given ample amount of time. It was told by the HRD minister that 1 month time will be given, and even more than that, the CBSE has given the students the time to prepare for the examinations. First is The first exam for class 12th is beginning from 1st of July, and for class 10th of July, class 10th also is beginning from 1st of July. It will be for the class 10th examination will be only for the Northeast Delhi because due to the rights, the examination could not take place. But the 12th examination for Pan India will be taking place, Seher. The important rejoinder here is the students have been told to carry their own sanitizers, wear masks, and the physical distancing has to be maintained even when their parents are coming to leave them at the examination center. And the most important thing is that the parents have been told to ensure that their wards are not sick when they're coming for examination. If what will happen if a ward is sick? Will he be allowed to give the test or not, or examine or not? That has not been cleared yet. But it has been mentioned there that the parents have to ensure that the students are not sick if they're coming to examination.
All right. This is, of course, added stress as far as parents are concerned, but it's imperative, Ayushman, as you said, that these precautionary measures be taken to finally be able to sit for these CBSE exams, which have already been far too delayed this year. In Punjab, the state government of Punjab has now released its list of do's and do nots. This is based on fresh guidelines that were issued by the central government at the start of lockdown 4.0, which is further extended till the end of the month. List of do's and don'ts is for the containment and the non-containment zones. Most guidelines that are in line with the Home Ministry's list. So we're looking at industrial and financial activities, e-commerce activities, also staggered operations of government and private offices, salons, home delivery from restaurants, which are some of the activities that are allowed, which have now been relaxed. But this is once again only if you are outside the containment zone. Our correspondent Gurpreet is getting us further inputs here. Gurpreet, in these details that are being listed out, Punjab, of course, being one of the first governments to do that soon after the MHA's announcement. How much of a relaxation in these areas, also because the demarcation is now in the state government's hands as well? Are we looking at a large number of non-containment zones where people can finally breathe easy in certain areas of here?
Well, that of course, that if we can talk about the relaxation in Punjab, Punjab has already extended the time from earlier from 7 to 3. Now the time is from 7 to 6 in the evening. At the same time, after the MHA guidelines, they have also given relaxation to the stadium. Also, they have decided to open the other shops not related to the essential services, even all the other shops at the same time. So taking a step further for the MHA guidelines, they have decided to give more relaxation in the non-containment zones also. At the same time, the Chief Minister of Punjab, he has also requested the centre that in a district, that district should not fall under the containment zone, that there should be some area and some pocket that should be declared, because they are willing to even start the public transport within the state. They are willing to start taxis and three-wheelers, auto rickshaws, that they have made a plan for this. But today they will be holding a meeting in which they will take a final call on that how the things will be unfolding in the upcoming days.
Right. Okay, Gurpreet, thank you for getting us those inputs here. Punjab government, of course, coming up with much clarity early in the day compared to other state governments on that. With that, we're slipping into a very tiny breather here on the big story. Please stay on with us. Back in just a bit, getting you updates coming in from other states as well regarding the start of a fresh lockdown with new guidelines having been issued for across the country. Thanks for staying on the big story. Let's go straight across to Ghaziabad, where we can see a large gathering of migrants. They're at the Ram Leela in Ghaziabad, and they're sitting and waiting for their turn to hop on to the Shramik train here to be back home in various parts of Uttar Pradesh. The trains that are to start from Delhi, from the national capital region there, across to different parts of Uttar Pradesh. We can see several of them sitting and waiting for their turn to get onto these trains. We have with us our correspondent Siddhant getting us further inputs here on this. Siddhant, Given that all of their very tedious documentation work having been completed, how long is this going to be the wait for them now?
Right now I'm reporting from Ram Leela Maidan in Ghaziabad, and you can see the migrants, those who have gathered here. They are in large number. Now what we have been told by the administration is that they are arranging buses and they are arranging trains also. So these migrants will be taken to railway station, and from there the trains will leave for the respective states. So let me speak to one such individual. आप कहाँ से आ रहे हैं?
हम पूर्णिया जिला जाना।
पूर्णिया जिला जाना। कहाँ से रहे?
तिलक नगर दिल्ली से।
तिलक नगर दिल्ली से। तो क्या बता रहे हैं आप यहाँ पे? कितने दिन से यहाँ पे?
6 रोज हो गया।
हाँ?
6 रोज।
6 दिन हो गए। क्या बोले, पूर्णिया जिला कोई ट्रेन नहीं जा रही?
ट्रेन अचार नंबर कट जाता। अचार नंबर कट जाता। झक्कों बार के पीछे कर देता, मेरा नंबर कट जाता।
Okay. So you see, even migrants are made to sit here and stay here under this 41 degrees Celsius scorching sun heat. We'll speak to some of the migrants. ये बताइए, रहने का कोई सरकार ने प्रबंध किया?
नहीं, कोई नहीं किया।
तो यही है जो है।
यही है जो है। ये जो इसी में कल से यहाँ बैठे हैं, कहता है कि बस दे रहा है बिहार सरकार, बस से जाना है पटना, बस से जाना है। खाली अनाउंस होता है लेकिन एक को बस नहीं है। कल सुबह से बैठे बैठे आज शाम हो रहा है। अभी भी ऑन हो सकता है।
रहने सहने का कोई इंतजाम?
कोई इंतजाम, ऐसे बैठे हैं सब कचरा से।
अच्छा,
ऐसे
खाने का प्रबंध कर रही है सरकार?
आता है कभी कभी, देखो कीचड़ दे जाता है, कीचड़ मोर को।
हाँ जी, खाना दे रहा है
जी, पब्लिक दे रही है।
पब्लिक दे रहा है खाना, सरकार नहीं दे रहा है। सरकार तो हमको बताया कि हमने रहने का भी प्रबंध किया है, लेकिन रहने का बस यही प्रबंध है।
यही प्रबंध आपके सामने में जो भी देख ली।
कितने दिन से यहाँ फंसे हुए?
हम 3 दिन हो गए।
3 दिन हो गए। कहाँ जाना है?
हमें जाना है सहरसा।
सहरसा जाना है। और कहाँ से आ रहे हैं?
हरियाणा से।
हरियाणा से चल के आ रहे हैं।
जहाँ
और यहाँ पे बॉर्डर पे रोक लिया आपको
जी।
और आप बोल रहे हैं कि बस से ट्रेन तक लेके जाएंगे, उसका ट्रेन से सहरसा जाएंगे।
कोई ट्रेन नहीं।
तो रजिस्ट्रेशन जो हो रहा है, क्या बोल रहे हैं यहाँ पे?
ये तो कह रहा है अब बस जा रही है, ट्रेन जा रही है। अब 6 बजे जाओ।
कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा है
सर, कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा है। यहाँ पे 3 दिन से हम यहाँ पे कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा है। नहीं पानी का व्यवस्था सही नहीं है, कुछ खाने पीने का भी
कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा है। So there you see, Seher, it's full of mismanagement, and if you have time I can take you to the main ground as well. So as per the government, this is the place where migrants should stay, and there you see there is no proper shelter, Seher, and you can see there buses are waiting. There are buses that are being arranged. People are waiting for their buses, but there's completely mismanagement on the part of the administration. No social distancing norms are currently being followed. Complete violation of social distancing norms. People are just rushing. You can see people are rushing, seeing the buses, and no thermal screening is taking place. So these were the claims, high claims by the government, that proper thermal screening will take place, social distancing norms will be followed. But here you see, sir, look at the situation. This is not some political rally taking place. These are the migrants, those who want to go to their homes, to their native places. They are stuck, and they are stuck here from last 3 to 6 days. हाँ जी, कहाँ जाना है आपको? भागलपुर। क्या बोल रहा है रजिस्ट्रेशन वाले?
पटना।
हाँ,
पटना तक छोड़ेगा।
हाँ, तो नंबर लगा आपका?
हाँ, नंबर
है। नंबर तो लग गया, लेकिन पटना तक छोड़ेगा। कल से नंबर लाइन में लगे थे, आज
नंबर लगा। आज तो क्या बोल रहा है, कब तक बस निकलेगा यहाँ से?
बस बोल रहा है कि 1.5 घंटे के बाद यहाँ से निकलेगा। ट्रेन है 5 बजे वहाँ।
और कहाँ से आ रहे हैं आप लोग?
हम तो हरियाणा से
चल के आ रहे हैं।
जी सर, आज 3 रोज से आ रहे हैं।
Okay, so you see, after Auraiya, district administration in Uttar Pradesh have come out with a circular saying that they will not allow any migrants to walk on roads, to walk on national highway, and this is the reason that all these migrants have been brought here to Ram Leela में। हाँ दादा, कहाँ जा रहे हैं आप? नंबर लगा आपका?
सर, हम लोग को नया पटना जाना वाला है।
नंबर लगा?
नहीं सर, नहीं लगा।
क्या बोल रहे हैं लोग?
ये बोल रहा है कि पटना जाने के लिए बोल रहे हैं कि हमको पहुंचा।
खाना पीना मिला सुबह से? कुछ खाने पीने को
खाए हैं हम।
अच्छा, खाना मिल गया। अच्छा, रहने का क्या प्रबंध है?
उधर मैंने तो अभी तो कोई व्यवस्था नहीं है। अभी हम लोग को देगा व्यवस्था तभी तो रहेगा।
कहाँ से आ रहे हैं आप लोग?
हम लोग आ रहे हैं गाजियाबाद से, काम करते थे।
गाजियाबाद में काम करते थे। तो वहाँ जो भीड़ लगा रजिस्ट्रेशन काउंटर है, if we can show to our viewers the registration counter, so that is a registration counter. You see, the government are making these high claims that social distancing norms are being followed. We are taking each and every care. Thermal screening will be done. But this is the ground reality we are bringing for our viewers. Now, look at this line, sir. Look at this line for a bus. So now this bus has come. The registration calculation has been done. Now, we were also told, Seher, by the administration that that if a bus has a capacity of 52, carrying 52 people, then only 28 will be allowed inside the bus. But you can see that bus is already half full, and these people are waiting to board this bus. So this is a situation on ground, quite contrary to what governments are claiming, quite contrary to what district administration are claiming.
Absolutely.
Every day in press conferences, they come out with the numbers that we have ferried these many migrants, we have taken precautions, but this is the reality. People are made to sit in 42 degrees under this hot sun. Back to the studios.
And Siddhant, these are very important ground inputs. This is a reality check as opposed to what multiple governments have been claiming on the kind of arrangements that are being made here for the migrants feeling absolutely stranded and dumped. But Siddhant, a lot of these people that you spoke to have already been waiting and sitting here at the Ramlila Maidan, Ramlila grounds for the past 3 days. And we're looking at thousands here who are stranded. And many several hundred more who will continue to be nabbed and brought in if they're seen walking on the road. So this is going to take several more days of them being put here at this Maidan till they get their means of transport.
Well, Seher, see, honestly speaking, I've been covering this since morning, and what I can sense from the government, there's no clarity. There is complete mismanagement. Even government doesn't know that when they will be able to ferry all these migrants out of Ramlila Maidan. But because after Auraiya, the district administration in Ghaziabad had issued circular saying that no migrants will be allowed to walk on National Highway, and the borders were sealed for migrants. After that, these people had started coming to this place. Administration has also brought them here, and you can see the lines. Look at the lines. It's horrible. The pictures are horrible here from Ramlila Maidan in Ghaziabad, where the other registration center is in Kabir Nagar for the districts in Uttar Pradesh, but for districts in Bihar and Jharkhand, this is a center. This is a registration center. So we had also reported from Garhmukteshwar district a week back. The situation was same there also. Here on ground also situation is quite same. People are also complaining, Seher, that they don't have proper access to toilets, and no proper arrangement have been made by the administration. No proper arrangements for sanitizations also. You can see this is 42 degrees in Ghaziabad today. People are waiting under the sun. They are waiting for their number, their number to come. Come. Even when they go to the registration desk, they were told that we have closed. This is also complaint that people are giving us. They have been waiting from 6 days. They have come walking from Haryana, from Punjab. Okay. They want to go to their natives in Jharkhand and Bihar. But you see this, see the situation, see the conditions. Good part is that some NGOs have been helping. So the food is being arranged by the district administration. They are getting to eat. This is a good part. And but yes, as far as the situation is concerned, accommodation, no proper facility, nothing on ground. Back to the studios.
All right. Siddhant, many thanks for getting us those inputs. Harsh reality, a very difficult journey back home for them here. And Siddhant, you stay safe as well while you report from there. Let's now get you updates coming in from one of the worst affected areas in Mumbai. This is Dharavi, and preparations now that have been made to convert Mumbai's Nature Park, which is near the Dharavi slum, to convert that into a quarantine facility. This is for COVID patients. So the facility here has been made with arrangements of about 400 bed capacity, out of which we have 100 that have already been made available. Quarantine facility will have 50 portable toilets as well. There's been yet another specification here on this, being that asymptomatic patients here who aren't showing COVID symptoms but are positive, and those suspected to have infections will be kept in 2 different sections within this facility itself. Our correspondent Disha getting us all of those details here.
We are at Mahim's Nature Park in the area of Dharavi, which soon will be converted into a quarantine center for the COVID-19 patients. As you can see that the preparations are already underway here, where at least 400 bed capacity will be made available for COVID-19 patients. And if we go further, ahead, we can see that one section, of course, of this establishment is already ready. We can see that beds have been put up here so that asymptomatic positive patients as well as people who needs to be institutionally quarantined, they will be kept here, because as we all know, Dharavi is one such area which is densely populated. People live in very close proximity to each other. Sometimes there are 5 to 6 to 7 family members staying inside one house, so social distancing is also not possible. So those people who needs to be institutionally quarantined, who are suspected, they will be kept here for the period of 14 days is what we understand, and that is why this entire setup is being made at this point in time. Dharavi, of course, as we all know, it is one of the biggest concern and the challenge, because even as we speak, there are about 2,500 people institutionally quarantined at the other quarantine centers that have been set up in Dharavi. So as we go further, I'll ask my video journalist Sachin Yeram to move ahead of me and show what all preparations are being underway as far as making this establishment ready. You can see other beds have been set up here. They have been put up here.
All right, this is far more organized preparedness on ground, situated close to the Dharavi. This is essentially for the fastest rise in number of cases that we've seen in that area. On that note, it's a wrap on the big story. Thanks for being with us.